God proclaims that today, you are sanctified and without reproach before me in love. Any alternative viewpoint originates solely from the accuser. Learn to perceive yourself as I perceive you. When you perceive yourself as I perceive you, you will momentarily recognize the undeniable truth that as I exist in the heavens, so do you exist on earth. As I thrive in the heavens, so shall you prosper on the ground and continue to do so. As I am perpetually supplied in the skies, so too are you and will you be fundamentally supplied on earth. Transcend temporal limitations, asserts the Father. Strip away the facade of deception from the adversary's narrative that characterizes you as inferior, incompetent, and powerless. You are not inferior. You are not incompetent. You are capable. The untruth is the detrimental factor that leads to your failure. I am not a failure in the celestial realm, hence, I assert to you and urge you to affirm in response that you are not a failure. You are not vanquished. You are not defeated. You are both a conqueror and more than a conqueror in every obstacle you confront today. Today, God indicates that you are progressing towards a breakthrough. Transformation occurs as you heed my voice and execute the instructions I provide you daily. Anticipating an event without proactive, faith-driven efforts is an unproductive use of time. My realm lacks scrutiny. My word is not a holy talisman that you grasp in the futile hope of effecting change. My words transform from mere ink and paper into a sword that will vanquish every adversary in your life. My word at your feet claims the area I have pledged to you. My promise in your possession will carve the 7 foundations of my wisdom and secure you from any adversarial intrusion. Ascend and construct, proclaims the Father. Construct using your language and deliberate actions daily, aligning yourself with my promises. Should you meet the expectations of your religion, no obstacle will impede you, not even cancer. Poverty will be eradicated. Conflict and discord will lie motionless at your feet. Doors will open autonomously for you. The giants will be defeated. Kingdoms shall be subjugated. You will join the ranks of the faithful when you awaken from the inertia of wishful thinking and immerse yourself in the certainty of my steadfast promise. Your God declares, I have spoken, I shall fulfill it, and all that is left is for you to achieve victory. The Father declares today, embrace the freedom of my indwelling spirit. In the new birth, I have accomplished more than only urging you to be morally virtuous. There is no one righteous, not even one. Aiming to meet an unattainable goal is merely a facade of faith. The purity of mind and heart is attained via the sacrificial blood of Calvary, rather than through the abrasive efforts of religious endeavor. What is generated from the flesh is flesh. Religion is inherently worldly and can solely generate worldly outcomes. I have not summoned you to be a Christian, I have summoned you to be in me and I in you. All other efforts are futile endeavors. I have not summoned you to struggle, I have summoned you to embrace the freedom in which you are already liberated. God commands you to assert your freedom. Where my spirit resides, there exists freedom. There, you will experience your inaugural free and profound breath of life. Inhale profoundly the essence of my being and see the dissolution of the sinful body. Your existence is not meant to be a perpetual cycle of transgression and absolution. You are absolved, for my mercy is perpetually offered to you, yet, I possess even greater provisions for you beyond that initial spiritual stage. Ascend. Do not merely strive to, but embody my essence and recognize within yourself, as He is in heaven, so I am on earth. That is the destination to which hinds feet on high places will lead you. Embrace it and be reborn to that vibrant hope fully redeemed for you on the cross. God proclaims today, I am your means of escape. I am your escape and your passage. I am your path to ascension and your means to transcend the dire, insurmountable challenges you are encountering. God encourages you to be optimistic. I have validated your ticket and provided you with an avenue to escape the present turmoil, leading to a realm where heaven intersects with earth. Disregard your personal beliefs and principles. Cease your attempts to acquire what I have generously bestowed. Examine your hands and feet. The chains have been removed. You are now liberated. Stand erect on your feet and just walk out of your confinement, and you will attain total freedom. Do you comprehend my words? Asks God. My proclamation reverberates through time and eternity, asserting that today is your moment of emergence. This is your moment of revelation, therefore invigorate yourself. Arise from your state of suffering and depart. I open the door and create the path, but you will exit that wilderness on your own accord. There exists no obstacle save your absence of resolve to act upon my word rather than merely engage in wishful thinking. Deliverance is not found in wishful thinking, but solely in faith-based belief. Without actively opposing the strongholds in your life by your will, words, and actions, no transformation occurs. Advance and observe the iron gates closed before you, opening spontaneously. God inquires today, who informed you that you were unclothed? I designed you to be adorned with my essence. Adam perceived himself as unclothed, and he was indeed unclothed. Someone conveyed information that contradicted my statement, and he accepted it as true. What will you choose to believe? Would you trust the adversary or the unfavorable situation and its implications for you, or would you believe my assertions? The adversary admonished Adam to feel shame, prompting him to establish a sewing circle, fabricating a fig leaf religion as a replacement for true fellowship and communion with me. What will you choose to believe? What will you accept? What I have articulated, my words eternally enshrined in heaven, or what the situation dictates? I refer to you as my beloved. I refer to you as the provision of heaven. I designate you as kings and priests unto me. I address you from above rather than below. I assert that you are purified by the word I have conveyed to you. What will you accept? Perception does not precede. You must advance your faith, and then outcomes will become evident. Your feelings are inconsequential. Your bank balance is inconsequential. The court document's declaration is inconsequential. Everything that manifests in your life is a result of what you have embraced and internalized to develop and produce. Your actions shape your future. Have faith in me, I reiterate. Before the video continues, please like the video, share it with your family and write Amen in comment. God asserts today that everything about my kingdom, both present and future, resides inside you. My domain cannot be discerned within the confines of time, space, or a structured cosmos. Please pray, as in heaven, so on earth. When the divine manifests in your life, you will be deemed blameless. You will be discovered thriving and in good health, for that is my foremost wish. Comprehend this, dear, I am not merely escorting you to, but rather instituting you in, heaven. As death is consumed by immortality, so too is all of creation, along with its issues and corruption, being enveloped by my reign. I came into the earth to testify and reveal my kingdom. God states, I stand at the door and knock. When I arrive, heaven accompanies me. I am present with you and within you to excavate beneath the turmoil of existence and to manifest the days of paradise in your life. Just like Adam perceived my voice during the cool of the day, I am present in your life through my voice. I approached Adam with the remedy for his contamination. Similarly, I am approaching you, and when you permit my entry, your issues will be resolved, and the experience of heaven on earth will be yours. All other concepts stem from the thief whose sole intent is to steal, kill, and destroy. God proclaims today, I generate light and I produce darkness. Engage in labor during daylight, for nightfall arrives when no individual can labor. You exert futile effort due to an inability to recognize the current season. The day of the Lord exists, comprising 24 hours. Are you aware of the date of your visitation? There exists a period for toil and a period for repose in the completed work of Calvary. Occasionally, God asserts, the most profound expression of faith is to remain silent. This is wisdom, which will construct your dwelling and carve out all 7 pillars of my truth to fortify you and guide you through the current adversity. Establish the monuments of commemoration of my fidelity. I remain unchanged. Having relied on me previously and witnessed my acts of salvation, I urge you to place your trust in me once more. Occasionally, one must anchor down and await the day, to avoid transitioning from distress to a more significant calamity. I will never deceive you, nor will I ever plunge you into disaster, as I am a deity focused on life and its abundance. Do not permit circumstances to shape your perception of my identity or the essence of my being. All benevolent and flawless gifts emanate from me, and I remain steadfast in that promise. Your educators may not have conveyed this, but prioritize pleasing the Father and reject any misrepresentation of me by religion through their erroneous interpretations and justifications for matters outside your influence. Divine guidance today encourages the embrace of risk-taking. Embracing faith in daily situations entails risk. Desiring change and improvement is insufficient. Passivity will not affect transformation. Understand that risk without purpose is sheer folly, yet confronting hazards with confidence activates my spirit and my grace in your life. That is when the unlikely transforms into the feasible. Subsequently, you encounter the phenomenon of the improbable transforming into the probable through a validated experience rather than mere wishful thinking. God states, "I am working." The benefits, shaped by heat and pressure, which appeared to be lost, are being revitalized and reformed in your life. What once appeared unattainable will now become accessible, revealing their treasures to you. The past ceases to be past when you place your trust in me as the restorer of pathways to inhabit and the mender of the chasm you could not traverse. The innate intellect is perplexed and oblivious. The vision of your spirit, perceiving through my intellect, will drive you onward until you grasp the entirety of the promised manifestation for which you have long awaited. Today, obstacles are being eliminated, according to divine proclamation. Obstacles are being removed, but it is your responsibility to navigate past them. Select a future-oriented perspective rather than being constrained by previous experiences. Distractions will perpetually entice you to divert your attention from my words and deeds in your life. Maintain your focus on me. You will only experience disorientation when you begin evaluating and creating judgments based on external distractions. I will always direct you with my gaze. Avoid focusing on the tumultuous winds and seas of misfortune. Do not focus on the visible, but rather on the invisible. The concealed forces operating in your environment influence subsequent events. Maintain your focus on me. God reminds us that both those who assert they can and those who assert they cannot are correct. From the overflow of the heart, the mouth articulates, and the heart governs the matters of life. If you are dissatisfied with your life, then transform your inner sentiments. Your destiny is not being sabotaged by the devil. He can accomplish nothing until you open your mind and soul to permit the entry of his thoughts and plans, allowing them to develop within you and manifest. Enter the inner gateway of prayer within yourself. Close the door. Disregard the external story of the adversary and engage with the heavenly narrative, which perpetually embodies the utmost aspirations and the realization of the biggest dreams. God proclaims today, "My kingdom is awakened by motion." It lacks observation or passive anticipation. Anticipating improvement without taking appropriate action is unrelated to the patience exhibited by the saints. I have summoned you to persist in virtuous conduct. Do not be deceived into believing that you are passively awaiting divine intervention as if the conditions of your situation will transform spontaneously. You must act, and in your actions, I will support you like the wind beneath your wings to enhance your endeavors. Are you prepared for transformation? Are you ready for changes in circumstances? I am articulating and providing guidance. The subsequent step is for you to initiate action. You have said, "Oh God, expand my strides." Enlargement of step occurs only when one commits to the point of no return. Faith is what gratifies me, Yet faith devoid of action is not genuine faith, it is merely wishful thinking. I summon you from the realm of religious idealism into the trajectory of advancement, where change and transformation materialize. It commences with the initial step as you utilize your available resources and remain committed. I will meet you, introduce myself, and transform your inadequate efforts into significant breakthroughs. Commence immediately. Before the video continues, I request you to comment Amen and please help me by doing super thanks. Your support means a lot to us. God asserts that when the anguish of remaining surpasses the anguish of departing, it is time for you to leave. The Father asserts that He does not value pain, contrary to the claims of the misinformed. The expense of Calvary was entirely covered to mitigate suffering, not to induce it in your life. I arrived so that you may possess life and experience it more abundantly. When circumstances deviate from that description, it is essential to focus on the current issue and evaluate your options for both the short and long future. Are you listening? Inquires the Father. I trust you are attentive as I am articulating my thoughts. Some individuals seek to cover their ears so that only their speech is audible. If you recognize my voice amidst the clamoring of others, none of this should have surprised you. I will continue to guide you towards liberation and freedom, provided you are willing to heed my counsel. The focus is not on the actions of others, but rather on your response to my guidance as I communicate with you now. God asserts that there is no necessity to inundate heaven with your requests today. What leads you to believe that paradise requires bombardment? You are not my adversary. Your prayers are not instruments for breaching the gates of heaven. Rather, they serve as armaments against the gates of hell. Those who conceive that notion and those who disseminate it are fundamentally mistaken about my nature towards you and my goodwill towards you. The gates of heaven remain perpetually ajar. The skies are perpetually accessible. Just as the curtain on earth was torn 2,000 years ago, granting entrance to the Holy of Holies, the gates to my kingdom are currently open to anyone who desires entry, including you. This is your opportunity to ascend, declares the Father. This marks your transition into ascension reality. Elements of mortality, bereavement, and decline are dissipating, while revival, enhancement, and plenty are overwhelming you at this exact time. Indulge in my favor. Revel in my benevolence. Embrace my benevolence and immerse yourself in my compassion, for they are your inheritance, and the resources of heaven are available to you with unrestricted access. God advises that one should cease awaiting events and instead take the initiative to create opportunities. I did not instruct my disciples to establish themselves permanently after the day of Pentecost and await the arrival of the kingdom. I dispatched them to influence the world and to educate nations. Have you influenced a nation by your testimony? You exceed the mere aggregation of your components. You possess influence. You are my selected instrument. I stated that I would showcase you for my glory. What actions would you take to ensure your availability for the realization of my promise? God proclaims, "This is your hour. The day of redemption is today." This is your moment. When will you accept now as a response, and how can you ascertain that you have done so? How do you perceive now? By embarking on a faith-driven endeavor to realize and achieve what only I can manifest. Avoid becoming a cautious failure. For what purpose are you conserving it? What is the delay? My dominion is not established via observation. My realm is a collaborative domain. Therefore, venture forth today and utilize your resources effectively, being steadfast in your endeavors. Today, God asserts that you will gain credibility inside your community upon discovering your tribe. What is the purpose of attempting to appease others who are disinterested in hearing your perspective? Your communication constitutes your ministry. Cease offering valuable insights to the unappreciative. Depart from that swineherd and pursue those who will regard every utterance from your lips as vital. The presence of a partially open door is not equivalent to a fully open door. It is time to cease aimlessly navigating life and to act with the purpose intrinsic to my kingdom within you. Your determination is not under scrutiny. I am not manipulating you by waiting to observe whether you will persist without resulting in the expectation of creating something from nothing. I have bestowed upon you a key of authority that will unlock any door. Ensure that the submission you present corresponds with my words. This is the way, walk in it. Are you aware that the keys of the kingdom are oblivious to a locked door? With sufficient effort, one may penetrate any undertaking or venture. Do not simply request the opening of a single door, for I take pleasure in opening multiple doors and observing your choices as a spiritually mature individual, directing your path by what pleases me. God inquires today, have we altered circumstances? At times, you may question your place in my flawless plan, dear one, but understand this, being in my presence is more essential than being in my will. You make daily decisions that frequently deviate from my optimal choice for you. Nevertheless, my spirit remains with you to guide and inspire you towards the elevated road that culminates in the greatest blessings. Some assert that my hand is ready to punish those who deviate even a little from my intentions, but that is neither my desire nor my method. I shall bestow favor upon your endeavors, and I will grant you dominion over every territory you traverse. Bear in mind this consideration before finalizing your subsequent line of action. My voice will perpetually articulate, this is the path, traverse it. Should you falter or collapse, I shall be present to assist you. If you fail egregiously, I will admonish you with my benevolence. If you resist and defy, the repercussions are consequently your responsibility. Even in that circumstance, I shall accompany you, as I have stated in my word, even if you lie in hell, I am present there. As David grasped that lesson, I would for you to understand that when I stated I would never abandon you nor forsake you, I was sincere. I am present. Engage in conversation with me. Articulate your grievance to me. Express your own opinion, rather than what you believe I desire to hear. I will not scorn or reject a sincere and repentant heart. I am endeavoring to transform you via my benevolence, for all my ire was unleashed upon Jesus on the cross 2 millennia ago. You are not a kid of wrath, but a son under my protective, guiding, and corrective influence. Rely on me for the day and heed once more my quiet, subtle message.